Hi guys, it's Lara. Thanks for watching and welcome back to my channel. So I thought it's time for another life update. So we're going to spend the day together today and I'm gonna tell you what's been going on in my life recently, and I will also show you what I ate today. So let's start with the very beginning of today. I got up today at 6 in the morning. Since it's the cold season, we don't have to get up as early as we do in the summer, which is of course nice. And first, I cuddled for quite a while with Shadow, and when we came downstairs, Shadow made it clear that he was not done cuddling, so it was Jack's turn. And then they cuddled some more. At some point, Shadow went into the yard to do his business, and when he returned, he immediately laid down underneath the dining table, which is what he likes doing when we eat. And he fell asleep and was snoring actually quite loudly. That was so cute. For breakfast, I had English breakfast tea with homemade cashew milk and overnight oats with cacao nibs. I will show you at the end of today how I make our overnight oats. And by the way, this table piece is something I made years ago. It was super easy, and tutorial is on my DIY channel, so I will link it down below. And part of the video is also a tutorial for this cute Christmas tree. After I got ready, we went to the car. Shadow has pillows in the back and a nice blanket and of course a safety belt. It takes us approximately 10 to 15 minutes to get to the woods. It always depends on the traffic, but fortunately in this area the traffic is usually pretty light. Once I parked my car, we went into the woods and simply enjoyed our morning together. I'm making sure that we are switching up the trails so that it doesn't get boring for Shadow, and I always include a few fun exercises. By the way, Huskies are not necessarily off-leash dogs. They have to have a solid recall, they have to be trained in order to be allowed off-leash. I've been training Shadow from day one and we are still training regularly and adding a few things. It's a lot of fun, it strengthens the bond between me and Shadow, it keeps him mentally fit, and it's always a great time. I can definitely see that the more Shadow learns, the more confident he gets, and he's so laid back, much more relaxed than when we got him from the shelter, and I can tell that he's very happy, and especially in the morning after a long walk, when I see the big white husky grin, it just melts my heart. It's one of the most beautiful things in the world for me. We always stay as long in the woods as my schedule allows me, and Shadow is always super tired, and when we come home he's always super hungry, so the first thing I do is to feed him. And today while he ate, I prepared my room for my online boxing class. But of course, first things first, I had to brush his fur because that's part of our morning routine. I love brushing his fur. It's also good for him because the fur never gets tangled, and I always brush out the loose undercoat, and it's also a wonderful cuddle time. My morning online boxing classes start at 10 o'clock in the morning. We always start with limbering up and then we always do some conditioning. It usually takes just a few minutes and I'm already soaked in sweat. After the conditioning part, we always start with shadow boxing. So we practice slips and rolls, and usually we start just with straight punches. It's just too bad I don't have a mirror at home, because I noticed only when I was editing this that I wasn't stretching my arms properly most of the time, but you know, it's a process. Then I move on the heavy bag. So the trainers always have some combinations for us, and either we do them freely in our own time or on command. Of course, when I was editing this, again, I noticed so many things that I should do better. But, you know, step by step, I really enjoy this. These are amazing workouts, and I'm really happy that we have these online classes. Sometimes between rounds, instead of having a break, we do some exercises. And then we punch some more. We always finish the classes strong, so there's always more exercises afterwards, usually planks or exercises for the core, sometimes squats, it always depends. And then at last, the cool down phase. Whew. I am soaked. Everything I'm wearing, every inch of my clothing, including my hair, are completely soaked through with sweat. But it was an amazing workout. I really enjoy these online boxing classes. I really appreciated that our box gym is offering them. It's not the same like going to the gym in person, of course, and training with other people, but I have a heavy bag at home, and that is great because then I can do a little bit more than just shadow boxing, and I really enjoy that. And right now, since I'm so soaked, I have to change into something dry. I hate staying in sweaty clothes if I don't have to. And then I'll do my stretching. So I always stretch, especially my shoulders and wrists and back and my abs after boxing, but then I also do my leg stretches. And this year I started incorporating active stretches because I've noticed that I'm making much more progress than when I'm doing just passive stretching. Oh, and by the way, Jack is so evil. He had an appointment downtown, and when he went back, he bought me some pastry, even though he knows I'm trying to cut back on sugar because sugar breaks me out so badly. But can I say no? So he brought me these two triangular pastries with chocolate. It looks like it's made of nuts, and they both look amazing, and I should not be eating these, but oh my god, they're so good. So listen, the thing is, I love sugar. I always loved anything sweet. I've been never such a sucker for sweet drinks, but pastry, truffles, you got me. And I think it was in November, I've kind of overdone it with chocolate truffles. I ate for a week almost daily a box of truffles, and then I started breaking out here on the sides of my neck and on the back of my back, and it just looked so awful, and it took a while till it started healing. So now it finally started healing, so of course he brings me pastry. That is really evil, but it's so good. I just can't. I can't. Like, this is something I can't say no to this. This is so good. Damn. By the way, Mr. Bushytail is chilling here underneath the stairs. He's so tired after our today's walk in the woods in the morning. So cute. He's actually snoring. Alright, so I hope that you guys can hear me well when I go a little bit further back. I'm done with my active stretches, and I figured while I'm doing my passive stretches we could talk and I could tell you a few things. And I'm very proud of myself because I actually have not finished both pieces of pastry. I left one for Jack, and I have also sent him a message that he's not supposed to bring me anything like that in future, because he knows that it breaks me out. And even though I know he meant well and he knows how much I love chocolate, it's just not a good thing for me to have these things around, because I'm really having a hard time controlling myself, and when it's not at home, I can't eat it, right? So I just set up my timer. I'm gonna hold each stretch 1 minute, and I like starting with lunge. Hip flexors are definitely one of my weakest points, so I like starting with stretching my hip flexors. And that's what I always do at the beginning of my passive stretching. It's just a habit that I have. So let's talk about 2020. I think we can all agree that it's been a pretty shitty year so far. It started for us actually pretty tragic, because Hercules died at the beginning of the year, and that's been something that really hit us hard. And I had a really hard time adjusting without him, because he's been with us for 15.5 years, and we've spent basically almost the entire day together, and suddenly he was gone. So it felt like I had this huge hole in my chest. At the same time, I'm so incredibly grateful that we could give Shadow a forever home. He is super happy with us, and it's amazing to see what progress he made in such a short time. I was actually able to walk with him off leash by the end of the summer, and we adopted him in the middle of March, so that's incredible. He is highly intelligent, he's super sweet, and you can tell how happy he is with us. He's way more relaxed around other dogs. He even has a few dog friends, and since I'm constantly working with him and training him, it's just amazing to see how far he can come. And he definitely did not deserve to be abandoned, but at the same time I'm happy that he was, because otherwise he wouldn't be with us. So it's kind of a selfish reason, but I'm really grateful for him, and I love him so much. Other than that, we've been very lucky so far, because COVID did not really affect our business in any way, or at least very little, which is not something most people can say. And I really am sorry for anyone who got affected. For example, our masseuse, she had a really hard time already during the first lockdown, and then now we just had a second lockdown, so I don't know how she's gonna cope with that. They did get something from the state, but the question is it going to be enough, right? So that's a really tough situation for many businesses. And there is another thing I wanted to tell you, and that's going to be a self-promotion, so this portion is going to be a little ad for my own platform. I actually just launched my own homepage with courses for sewing beginners, and I'm incredibly proud of what I've put together, because it took me months to put it together, to create the homepage myself, and to create the course and film all the videos. And the first course that is up is a hand stitching course for beginners, so that basically anyone who wants to learn sewing but never had a needle in their hand can start from zero. And I'm already working on a second course that will be a course that will cover the first steps with a sewing machine, and I will also explain how a sewing machine works and how to set it up, and some troubleshooting if the stitches are not the way they're supposed to be and whatnot. So it's a lot of fun. I have a very long experience when it comes to sewing and designing. I learned sewing when I was 6, and that's been a while ago. It's been 39 years. I started making plush animals, and then I started dressing my dolls, and then at some point myself, and then I started designing things, and I always had a lot of fun, and I always loved crafts, so that's something I really enjoy. And of course, the irony is not lost on me, because at the beginning of the year I stopped filming, and I even donated my entire equipment. Okay, this is a crappy camera angle, hold on. Okay, this is much better. All right, so where were we? Yeah, the irony of me donating my equipment and quitting filming, and then having to buy my entire equipment again, so I had to buy a new camera. I actually bought exactly the same camera tripods that I had before. It cost even the same. But I bought a better microphone, and the camera has a microphone jack, so I'm super happy with the equipment actually. It is definitely a step up, but yeah, the iron is not lost on me. So anyway, the platform, it's a paid course. I'm paying for the platform myself, it's ad-free, and there is a really flexible pricing plan. The videos can be watched basically with an unlimited access, or they can be streamed for 3 days, which can save you a lot of money. So if you're interested in that, I will link my homepage down below. And even if you're not really interested in sewing, it would mean the world to me if you would simply share it. Yeah, what else happened? Actually, the more I think about it, nothing really worth mentioning happened other than the things that I told you, because we always had a pretty quiet, easy life, and that hasn't changed. We are both very down to earth and pretty much happy with what we have. We haven't been anywhere this year. We've been only twice in Syria, and I would like to go either in January or in February somewhere where it's snow here in Austria, so that Shadow can run in snow and enjoy a proper husky life. But other than that, we don't have any plans for the next month. I am done with stretching, and I just washed my hair and wrapped it into this wonderful fashionable green towel that actually matches my onesie that I was wearing during my stretching. I haven't showered yet. I like washing my hair separately over the bathtub. That's something I started doing years ago because some hair products can break me out a little bit. Nothing crazy, but it still makes a difference, so I like doing it this way. And now I'm gonna have my lunch and then I'll shower, but first I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna eat. Oh, and we have a doggy here. Shadow just came upstairs and went into the closet because our robot vacuum cleaner is running downstairs, and yeah, I guess it came to his spot and disturbed his sleep. He's so cute. He enjoys all these places that kind of resemble a cave, so it's usually this closet or the space underneath the stairs because it's just so much quieter, and that's where he can rest without being disturbed. Here's the plan for lunch. So I have here leftover basmati rice that needs to be eaten, and that's enough for me. Jack already has his food at the office, so I can finish this up. And I'll eat it with this ready-to-eat meal that I buy in the store next door called Daltatka. So this brand has several vegan ready-to-eat menus, and this is my favorite. It's basically lentils curry, and it's not too spicy because some of the things are, for my taste, a little bit too spicy, but this one is great. And I'll chop these 2 small scallions on the top, so that's the plan. Here it is. It smells great. It's quite a large portion, which is good because I'm definitely super hungry after my training. I have here also a glass of water, but this won't do. I'm also super thirsty because I sweat so much. I gotta tell you, when I started boxing, I never knew how much I would enjoy that. And now, after almost a year of regular boxing, I can already say that I've never ever enjoyed anything more than I enjoy boxing. And that is surprising because I always loved ballet and I always enjoyed pole dance and yoga, but boxing, damn, that's a whole another level for me, and it just feels so natural and so right, and I love it. And of course I'm aware that I have to work on my technique and that there are so many things I yet have to learn, but I want to do sparring also in future. And I would like to have a fight at some point, but only just for fun. I don't plan on being a professional. I'm too old to be an amateur boxer because I think the age limit here is 35. So we are already 10 years past that. And I don't think I would have what it takes to be a professional fighter. Definitely not mentally. But I really love it, and I can't wait till I'll be ready for my first sparring. But I don't feel like I'm ready yet. I'm very humble when it comes to that, and I'm very aware of what are my weaknesses and what I want to work on till I feel confident enough. but I really enjoy it so much. And by the way, boxing, I'm reading Tyson's Fury biography. It's really cool. It's actually an autobiography, and he's a pretty cool dude. So I discovered him through a fight that we watched with Jack. It was the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. And then I found out that he has written a book. He's been struggling a lot with mental health issues, and he didn't have it really easy because he's from the travelers community, and he's been dealing also a lot with racism. And yeah, it's a really interesting book. I'm in the middle, and I specifically bought the old-fashioned book, not just a Kindle edition, because I somehow wanted to have have it in my hand and look at all the photos. And I sometimes miss the smell of books when I'm reading just the Kindle edition, but I think many people can relate to that. Now I'm done with my lunch, and I will enjoy a steaming cup of something I don't think you ever saw me drinking on this channel. It's a cup of coffee, but it's not a regular coffee. It's one of these instant coffees that people usually laugh about, but I like the taste. It tastes like toffee for me, and I put in my homemade cashew milk. We do have a coffee machine that would grind the beans and make a wonderful fresh espresso, but it kind of doesn't agree with my digestion, and I like this better anyway, so why not? By the way, if you want a recipe for homemade blend milks, I will link my video down below. And then I have here a plant-based yogurt. It's lupine-based. It's a stracciatella yogurt. I like this brand. I had a cream cheese from them, also lupine-based, and something else, I don't remember. Oh, I think a blueberry yogurt. It was also lovely. And this one is just super delicious. I will have only a few spoons just to satisfy my sweet tooth without finishing the pastry that Jack brought me. And the choice was either this or an apple. So obviously I went for the stracciatella yogurt because it tastes more like dessert. I'll have probably apple later anyway. And I also want to book my next boxing class, and then I have to work. And when I'll be done with my work for today, I will put up my Christmas tree in my Wolfie room. We put up the Christmas tree here downstairs on the 1st of December because we knew it was supposed to snow, I think on the 3rd or something like that, and we knew the snow's gonna be gone very soon. And we tried to put up the Christmas tree early enough so that we have at least one day of Christmas tree and snow in the yard, because it usually doesn't snow anymore than until the end of December. And it was a good choice. And now I want to put up the Christmas tree upstairs too. So I think I'm just gonna do all these things, and then I'll show you what we are going to have for dinner. And by the way, damn, it's dark. It's only 1:30, but it's as dark as later in the afternoon. It kind of feels like it's already at least 3:30 or 4 o'clock or something. It's really dark today. So with the help of assistant Shadow Mr. Bushytail, I'm cooking dinner. I'm making mashed potatoes. So there are a few regular potatoes and one sweet potato, and I just put in a little bit of salt. I have here these mushrooms that I want to use up. So there are king oyster mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, and brown portobello mushrooms. So I chopped them and I'm gonna roast them a little bit in oil, and probably put just a little bit of herbal salt on the top. And then we'll have these vegan steaks. I don't know, like for a while I didn't like them anymore. They kind of reminded me too much of meat, but recently I've been craving them and they taste so great. So that will be our dinner. Mr. Bushytail decided it was boring in the kitchen, so he went on his spot on the sofa. Oh my god, he's so cute. How is it possible that you're the cutest? You're such a cute pup. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much. You're my baby. You're my baby. Mama loves you so much. I'm also preparing our overnight oats. So for Jack, it's 4 scoops of the oats mixture that I make myself. And for myself, it's gonna be just 2. I always make a big batch and keep it in these metal boxes. It's super practical. I usually make like 6 batches and that lasts for weeks and saves a lot of time. So that was the oats, and then we like adding protein powder. So for Jack it's gonna be 2 scoops because he's bigger and needs definitely more protein than I do, and I get just 1 scoop. Oh, and the protein powder is vanilla flavor because that's my favorite. I mix our oats with just water. I don't find it necessary to add plant milk. I think it tastes great. I mean, the vanilla protein powder gives the whole thing a wonderful creamy flavor, and there are nuts and seeds in the mixture, so you know there's literally no need for anything else than just water. All right, and now I will add a few cubes of frozen mango to each plate. I love mango. It's actually funny because I used to hate it, but for whatever reason I started liking it. And now I'm adding blueberries. And frozen mixed berries. Okay, that was kind of a lot. I think I have to take a few of these and put them into Jack's plate because that would be too much. And that is what our oats look like. That's exactly what I had today in the morning. And now I'm going to cover both plates with a flat plate, and I'm gonna put Jack's on the top of mine, and it will go like this into the fridge. And in the morning we put it for 1 minute 30 into the microwave, and then we sprinkle cacao nibs on the top, and that's it. While the potatoes are still boiling, I'm gonna go up and put on my jams. Then I will finish making dinner so I can show you what it's gonna look like. And after dinner we're gonna watch a film. So we are rewatching all the Matrix films again. Tonight we're gonna watch part 2, or at least start, because I doubt that we're gonna finish it because it's already 7 o'clock and we go to bed super early. And that's gonna be it for today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's vlog and a little update. Let me know in the comments how you have been. I hope that you are all safe and healthy. And I'm definitely gonna stop by between the holidays so that we keep in touch. So love you so much and see you soon. Bye.